All right. Do we just do a countdown then? Okay, we can start in 3, 2, 1, go. I forgot I have to press play. All right. Hello. I'm Royal Peaches or Peach, and I'm going to be running Portal 2 Inbounds today. I have frozenflygone here commentating with me. You can introduce yourself as well.
Hi everyone, I'm frozenflygone. Been watching Peaches for a while. Really excited to be here commentating for her run.
Yeah, we're super excited. So right now we're going to be starting with a very long cutscene, but it gives us a chance to kind of explain some of the movement tech that's going to be going on here. Normally in the speedrun, you're allowed to skip this cutscene. You can just load a save that starts after it, but for the marathon, we decided to let everyone watch it, of course. Oh my god, I think I have. Okay.
Everyone gets to watch this lovely tutorial. Look at the pretty
exactly.
picture.
Intellectual sustenance. Reflect briefly on this classical music.
So we'll be getting back into the bed and then
now please return to your bed.
Getting another cutscene in this room, and I can explain some of the movement tech that we're going to be doing. So one of the main movements is bunny hopping. It's a little bit different than the accelerated back hopping that they had in Portal 1. I believe they tried to patch it out in the new Source engine, but it just allowed for a different kind of bunny hopping instead. So basically, if there's enough space to be jumping around, that allows us to gain a lot more speed than just walking. And then besides that, we can also do wall strafing, which is just running up along the wall, and speed wall strafing, which is kind of like jumping as you're running along the wall. Both of these let you have a lot more speed than if you're just walking around.
Most test subjects
and something else that we're going to see here, Wheatley's trying to prompt us to jump in a second, and we'll see I have jump bound to scroll wheel, which is for the reasoning of.
But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told. I'm not sure if there's an echo on my end or not, but I'm kind of hearing him. Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me. Just say yes. Okay. All you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped. But never mind. Say apple. Apple.
But
you know what? That's good enough. Just hold on.
Not with us.
What?
It's everyone's favorite character, Wheatley.
Oh, yes. So Wheatley is here. He's new in Portal 2. He's gonna try and help us, because if we just watched the Portal 1 run, of course, and we didn't get to see the end to cutscene, but Shell does get out of the testing facility, but she gets dragged back in at the very end. So we did not escape from the testing realm, and so Wheatley's gonna try and save us, because they managed to let all of the test subjects die, as we can see. I just turned the lights back to their normal status. I had them on for a later chamber, but they can stay off for now. There's a chamber that's really dark later in the run that they let us turn the lights on for.
When the management comes down here and finds 10,000 flipping vegetables. Alright, so no, I hear that one. Okay, listen.
And so we're gonna be going, once this cutscene is over, we're gonna get another cutscene, but after that we're gonna start going through some test chambers, and it's gonna be really cool because they're actually gonna be the exact same as the test chambers that started out in Portal 1.
It's one of the old testing tracks. There's a piece of equipment in there that we're gonna need to get out of here.
Just saw that awesome Portal 1 run. We get to see the same again.
Exactly. It was so good we want to do it twice.
Good news. That is not a docking station. So there's one mystery solved.
We can also see I don't have a portal gun right now. I won't get it one for about 2 chambers. It also does the same thing as Portal 1 where you get a single portal gun and then a few chambers later you'll get the dual portal gun which allows you to shoot both portals.
Don't worry, you'll figure it out. Seriously, do hold on this time.
Alright, and now we are back in the same room that Portal 1 starts out, and we get the lovely
and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Enrichment Center.
Waiting time here as well.
Experiencing technical difficulties due to circumstances of potentially apocalyptic significance.
If we have any donations or any questions,
however, thanks to emergency testing protocols, testing can continue.
We do have a donation that came in, if that's okay.
Yeah.
We have a $500 donation from S. Royal. They don't leave a comment, but thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Testing will begin in 3, 2, 1. Cube and button-based testing remains an important tool for science, even in a dire emergency.
So there was a little dialogue skip there that I didn't quite get.
The odds of this happening twice are very slim.
If you go through the door at a certain time, you don't get this kind of awkward elevator ride here, but it's only a few seconds, so it's not a huge deal. There's a couple skips that lead to just awkward elevator rides if you miss them, and it's kind of funny because you just have to sit there.
If you feel liquid running down your neck, relax.
It's weird to be going through the game without any kind of commentary happening from the characters.
Yeah, and it's just you staring at the wall.
Inside your head.
Related to the elevators, we're gonna see at the very end of this is the first dialogues manipulation kind of. So I'm gonna wait to enter this elevator till a very specific trigger.
Relaxation vault at the conclusion of testing. Please take a moment to write down the results of your test.
So the reasoning for that is it's kind of similar to the Super Mario Bros. Frame roll tricks, except you can have more control over it. So the game doesn't want to go to the next level until the dialogue is finished. So what it will do is it won't trigger the next level until the dialogue is done. So there's a chance that if you go in at the wrong time, you could be sitting in the elevator for 5 seconds at the most, I would say, maybe 4. But if you do it correctly, you don't have to wait at all, and it'll just trigger the next level transition immediately.
Some emergency testing may require prolonged interaction.
Seconds, but the amount of test chambers in this game, it really adds up.
Yeah, exactly. So without doing it, you could lose a couple minutes over the whole round.
Android has not respected your rights as detailed in the laws of robotics. Please note it on your self-reporting form. A future Aperture Science Entitlement Associate.
So someone in chat was asking, why is it inbounds, and what does that really mean? So we don't venture into the out-of-bounds void area. It's just all black outside of all the chambers. It'll look like she's skipping around through areas that could maybe be out of bounds, but you would know. It would just be a void.
Yeah, so I haven't really ventured much into what even out of bounds looks like in Portal 2. It's the more common run is definitely the inbounds one, which is all that I've seen. And I'm trying to shove that box through the wall there. There's an interesting glitch there. The game, if you put the box through the wall, the game realizes that you can't solve the puzzle because you're supposed to be putting a box on the button instead. So it'll just open the door for you. And I think it does the same thing in that same chamber in Portal 1 or a similar one. So that one's kind of funny. We can just shove the box through with some force, and it'll open the puzzle for us.
Fireballs, meteorites, or other objects from space. Please avoid unsheltered testing areas wherever a lack of shelter from space debris does not appear to be a deliberate part of the test.
So one of the cool things about this game is quick saving and quick loading would basically be the same as going into the menu and doing it, but since it's a PC game, we're able to bind it to keybinds, which is really nice.
Constructs will remain functional in apocalyptic, low-power environments.
So the last trick that I did, and I'm gonna do it right here, is it's basically grabbing pushing the box like to fall through the portal and then grabbing it right after it falls. Since we only have control of one of the portals, it's a really nice way to skip like what the game actually wants you to do.
You are a non-employee who has discovered this facility amid the ruins of
intended strategies are slow, so we're not going to do that.
Exactly.
It is the future, and the future starts with...
And so the strat there, which I kind of did unintentionally, but it was the intentional goal, is to glitch that button.
If you are simple-minded, bold, or irradiated in such a way that the future should not start with you, please return to your...
If you step on the button and step off, I believe like one tick after the next, because the game runs in ticks per second instead of frames per second.
To ensure that sufficient power...
Then the button will just stay glitched and it will stay activated as if you had put a box on there.
Respect your right to have questions or concerns about this policy.
And so here we're going to be coming up to a really precise portal shot, so I am going to focus on it for a second. Alright, so that portal shot skips about, I want to say like a minute cutscene of talking to Wheatley. He normally like is on the wall and you have to go pick him up and put him into the wall, and it's a very long cutscene, and Sweeteners do not like watching cutscenes if they can help it. So we instead found a very thin like seam in the wall, and we're able to just shoot through it instead, but it's very precise. In the top left corner of the screen I have position and angle values, and I'm able to line it up with that, which is really helpful.
That skip's been called the pancake skip because it is so thin and tiny and extremely precise, and that's why it's especially helpful to have the data on the top of the screen to use as a reference.
Yeah,
You're not going to believe this.
I believe that skip is precise to the third decimal point, and the decimals that I have on the screen are only 2, so kind of still hard to do because you're still not able to get the full precision.
This is the main breaker room. Look for a switch.
And here we're gonna have about a 2-minute cutscene if we have any donations or any more questions from the chat.
Don't even look at anything else. Just, well, obviously you've got to look at everything else to find the escape pod. But as soon as you look at something and it doesn't say escape pod, look at something else. Look at the next thing, all right? But
We
don't
have
touch
a
anything else.
$5 donation from the Space Sphere. What's your favorite thing about space? Mine's space.
Definitely space.
That is my favorite sphere, so thank you for that.
What there be like? That's God.
Yeah, if you don't know, that is talking about the 4 corrupted cores in the very last boss fight. One of them is the space sphere, and we'll see him later. And he's very infatuated with space.
No, makes it go faster.
The writing of this game is absolutely phenomenal. Like, unfortunately, we skipped some of the key dialogue, but you should play this game just for the writing.
Yeah. If you haven't played this game, it's definitely just an experience. So now we can see GLaDOS has been woken up. She was dead. She's gonna be a little mad at us because I think like she's confused with us with Kojak. Like we didn't kill her in Portal 1, but I think she thinks we did.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been?
And so after this, we're gonna be testing with GLaDOS for a bit, and we'll get to see some new chambers.
Oh no! No!
So,
Oh no!
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind
bye,
us.
Wheatley.
For some.
Yeah, we'll see Wheatley later. We don't need him right now though. She wants some one-on-one testing with us, so I guess we have to do that for a bit.
You must really, really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first.
So down here, we're getting dropped in the incinerator room. In Portal 1 at the end, which I don't think they actually show in the Portal 1 speedrun, but you throw all of her like pieces of GLaDOS into the incinerator room, so she kind of took it out on us to to put us down into the incinerator room. Kind of rude, but I guess I get it.
Here we are, the incinerator room. Be careful not to trip over any parts of the
Little mad. Just like kind of mad.
Yeah.
The dual portal
I guess I would be salty too if someone killed me, but...
Once you find it, you can start testing, just like old times.
So right there, I did like a little,
You have the dual portal device.
trigger
There should be
skip,
a way back to the test layer.
which
Once
allowed me
testing
to
starts,
grab the portal gun before the platforms in front of it were finished moving.
Luckily, we haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance to talk. But the important
And then
thing is
this chamber here is just kind of like moving fast
now
through it,
on
but
to all
there's,
your little tricks.
if you don't go fast enough,
From testing for the rest
you
of
actually
your life.
will get like a really bad dialogue, and
I might take a
so
bite.
instead of triggering the ending dialogue, it will just play all of the dialogue of like the whole chamber, and you have to wait until the elevator just reaches the bottom instead, and I think it loses like 30 seconds.
Sorry about the mess.
It's quite unfortunate.
Place go since you killed me. By the way, thanks for that.
Sarcasm self-test complete.
So GLaDOS here is trying to introduce us to lasers, but hopefully, yeah, we don't need them.
Not bad. I forgot how good
She wants us to use the lasers to activate that platform there, but since there was a portal on the wall, we're able to just get enough momentum and jump over it anyway.
Yeah, we skipped the laser tutorial completely. So
Yep. as
we
well
don't need those.
This next test
as well as this one too.
involves
So she's trying to
I just
introduce
finished building them
these
before you had
redirection
your,
cubes.
episode. So now we'll both get to
But
see
they
how
actually
you
just left that portal
should be
surface
one in the
completely
corner.
visible, so it just can come up here anyways.
Well done. Here come the test results.
I have a question from chat. What is
Yeah.
your
A
favorite
horrible
chamber?
person.
Favorite
That's
what?
It says. A horrible person.
Favorite chamber?
We weren't
Chamber.
even
Oh,
testing for that.
there's one. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name. I will point it out when we get there. I cannot remember the name at all. It's basically one with, I think it's called laser chaining.
If it makes you feel any better.
And it's like a really hard puzzle, but I really like the puzzle and I like the skips as well. There's like 2 glitches that I'm using here.
Most people emerge from suspension
I didn't get a chance to
terribly
explain them
injured.
before I said it, but
Anyone beating the odds
so one of the
somehow
things was the
usually
laser. So normally the game wants you to have 2 lasers pointing at the 2 like receptacles. And if you switch the portal that the laser comes out of for a few frames, it will be coming out of like both sides. So it'll be able to activate both of them, which opens the door for those few frames. And then the second glitch is that if you're pressing, actually I need to fix this room. If you're pressing against the door and it's open, it will just stay open because the solo player campaign does not want you to get crushed by the door. The co-op campaign does not have a problem with that, but they didn't want that to happen in solo.
And loves to see you get crushed by the door.
Yeah, in co-op they'll literally just put the camera away and like show it from third person, you getting crushed, and it's like, oh, thank you. I believe we are going to get introduced to faith plates here. Yes.
This next test involves the aperture size.
So this one, I'm going to put this camera on the button. Unfortunately, it doesn't like trigger the door to open, but it triggers the ending dialogue because she has a very long dialogue in this chamber. It's going to like finish by the time we get all the way back. And if we hadn't put that camera there, she would have started it like right now.
So you'll be breathing the same room air for the rest of your life.
So yeah, she just now finished that dialogue.
Chat, even in a speed run, you're too slow by GLaDOS's standards. I know. What does she want?
I know.
Let's see what
I think later in the run they say the same thing. They talk of Cave Johnson, who we'll meet later. He's like, "You're going too slow," and I'm like, "I guarantee you, I'm not."
I'm going as fast as I can, Cave.
By myself.
So here, it's a short skip, I guess. she's gonna be throwing trash out of the cube receptacles instead of the cube, and normally you'd want to wait until the trash is done and you'd put your cube through, but we actually just can activate the button with the trash. I went over there and moved the portal a bit that was right in front of the button, and because of that the trash was able to land like right on the button.
And I'm sorry. You didn't react at the time, so I was worried it sailed right over your head.
Yeah, that one's very long too. I think it reaches the bottom of the elevator shaft.
I had to call you garbage a second time just now.
So this chamber I'm gonna be attempting a skip that I've learned like literally 2 days ago. We're gonna hope that I can do it. I really like it as a skip, so I hope that I can.
Oh, did I accidentally fizzle that before you could complete the
I believe in you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Go ahead and grab another one.
Okay, it did not work the way I wanted to, so I'm not gonna worry about that. So essentially what I was trying to do is get a reportal here.
Oh well, we have.
But I'm actually gonna just do the regular strat. I literally have just started learning this route, so it's oh my gosh, I'm like going crazy. Sorry. Just gotta move that so I can see it. Okay.
I don't think you got hit by the laser. Can you get like totally killed by the laser if you stay there too long? Or
I
does
think
it just move you?
Yeah, I think you can, but it's like very hard to get killed by the laser.
Okay.
Because it moves you backwards. I think it'd be pretty hard to like keep yourself pushing up against the laser enough to kill you.
So that test subjects cannot
Sure.
smuggle test objects.
Oh, and so she's talking about here, so the cube that was in that chamber, if you didn't see, it was the companion cube, which is an important part of Portal 1. We love the companion cube. And so she doesn't have any emancipation girls in that chamber. We can't take it with us because it would take too long to go back, but she does kind of like to tempt us with that.
It's your friend that you can't take with you.
Right, yeah.
I told you about them in the last test area.
So that chamber we just completely choose because they let you shoot through that tiny like hole in the wall. Normally the point is to go through the huge emancipation grill, so you usually can't keep your portals on that side of the chamber, but you know, we like to break the rules. And I'm going to be doing a dialogue skip here. Hopefully, yeah. So here she has, I believe she wants you to jump on this 3 times before she lowers the ceiling. Ideally, there's 2 dialogue triggers that you could trigger while you're up here. And ideally you'd want to get both of them so that you jump on it once and then she lowers the ceiling. I only got 1, but it's also still a pretty good time save. And you basically are just like crouching and uncrouching at very specific times as you're flying through the air. And then we're just gonna do the rest of this casually, but fast. A lot of the chambers like can be done reasonably fast as long as you know the solution to the puzzle, because half of it's like figuring out what the puzzle even wants you to do.
Look at you, sailing through the air majestically, like an eagle, piloting a blimp.
So, and we saw, this is the start of chapter 3 that we're on now, which is when Wheatley starts to come and like, he's not here yet. He's not supposed to be showing himself yet, but he's like peeking around and stuff. We see little glimpses of him.
Enjoy this next test.
He's trying his best to be helpful.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I promise I'll get you out soon.
If you solve this next test, maybe I'll let
this one I think is a pretty infamous hard chamber casually. I feel like a lot of people don't like it. Or maybe that's just what a lot of people I've talked to, but it's a very like complicated one, and there's a lot of components to it. You need like a lot of boxes and portals. Alright. There's also a lot of skips that you can do in this chamber that are pretty hard. Definitely haven't been able to learn them yet, but they save a ton of time on that one.
Didn't see the deer today.
I mean, it is fun to just fly through the air like that, so.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to deprive everyone of that.
Exactly. And trust me, I don't know how to solve any of these rooms, so I'm still impressed.
So now we get introduced to the next
These bridges are
feature, I guess, or mechanic is light bridges, which are very cool. Essentially lets you put an entire floor down with the portals.
It would also set your hair on fire, so don't actually do it.
We're just gonna, oops, actually. Yeah, so usually, you wouldn't want to make that. That was not on purpose. I'm supposed to put a floor portal down there. Let me try that again. Okay, that was my bad too.
You're a predator, and these
So I like mixed up my colors when I set this up. So I'm just gonna not do things that are gonna kill me.
Excellent.
Usually I do the same like portal colors for every trick. Like I know what they are, and I did them in the wrong order for some reason on that one.
Do you know who else murders people who are only trying to help them? Did you guess sharks? Because that's wrong. The correct answer is nobody.
Every so often you just listen to GLaDOS, and it's just so funny.
Right, yeah, she has some pretty good dialogue in this game.
I figured out what to do with all the money I save recycling.
So this is gonna be a skip that there's a very, very small chance that I'm gonna get, but maybe we'll be lucky. This door, well, when you're fast enough, you can get through this door before it closes. I still have to practice that kind of trick here. Yeah, we didn't get it. But when you're pressing against this door as it like glitches open, there's a very small chance each time that it will just open anyway and let you through. So there's a few times that I've gotten that, and it'll just let you in. But we have another cutscene here listening to Wheatley.
Hi Wheatley, what's up?
He's getting attacked.
Okay, that's probably the guy that laid the eggs. Okay, look, the point is, we're gonna break out of here, all right? Very soon, I promise. I just have to figure out how to break us out of here.
So Wheatley eventually, like, he keeps kind of appearing in chapter 3, and then
let's just say he won't be.
In a little bit he'll be able to come help us break out of the testing facility, which is so kind of him. He's such a good friend.
Well done. In fact, you did so well. I'm going to note this on your file in the commendation section. Oh, there's lots of room here. Did well. Enough.
Alright, so here we get our first test with turrets, as she said, which I honestly forget that it takes this long to introduce them.
Oh wait, that's you in 5 seconds. Good luck.
They kind of seem like such a integral part that I forget that it takes like a third of the game to be like, oh yeah, these are the things that actually pose a threat. And so right there, they can't shoot through the box, so we can just kind of hold it up and walk towards them as a shield. And they also will die if you basically knock them over. They're very weak.
Main, enemy, like, if you go the wrong way, they will absolutely kill you. You have to restart. So it's important for us to manipulate them.
Yeah, exactly. I had a run the other day where one of the turrets just didn't run, or like it didn't have a hitbox on it, so I couldn't knock it over, and it just killed me. And I was like, what in the world? So that's like the easiest test chamber. We literally can set up the entire thing as we're on the platform that's going up.
Well, more of a belated birthday
There.
medical procedure. Well, technically, it's a medical experiment. What's important is it's a present.
And she keeps hinting at a present / surprise for us, and that'll be the start of chapter 4. I believe we have like 2 more,
right
2 or 3 more chambers before
Yeah.
we get
On
there.
other people, it looks fine.
Chat, GLaDOS has a surprise for us. Are you
Yeah.
excited? I'm really excited.
I'm really excited. I love
What does a
surprises.
neck-bearded old engineer know about
This is
fashion?
going to be the first time we've ever seen the surprise, you know?
Exactly. So what I just did there is the turret, when it shoots you, gives you backwards, or it gives you momentum in the opposite direction of the turret. So I kind of just pushed myself up against the portal and allowed myself to get like shoved through it with the increased momentum of the turret shot, which was, I think, the only time we do something like that in the run, but very helpful.
I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test.
Yes, we did.
Surprise!
Spoil the surprise. So I'll just give you a hint.
I think it's actually 2 chambers, even though it sounds like it should be the next chamber. This one is, this chamber, I don't even think, the only way to do this faster, I believe, is like an out-of-bounds strat. I was talking to someone about it. So like there's challenge mode, which is basically individual levels and trying to make those go faster, and they go out of bounds for that chamber. But other than that, like the only real way to do that fast is just to do it casually. They didn't leave lots of room for skips on that one.
It says this next test was designed by one of
Oh, this chamber I think also I would say is one of my favorites. I think the puzzle here is just really cool.
So yeah, as people are coming into chat asking why you're waiting before the elevator.
Yeah.
Do you want to clarify that again?
Yeah, for sure. So, let me wait for this one so that I can make sure I hear it. So, the game, of course, we're talking about how good the audio is. It doesn't like to cut off the audio because it wants us to hear all the good dialogue. So, it has level transitions like on the way down of the elevator shaft, and it won't actually trigger the level until the dialogue is over. So we're basically manipulating when the elevator starts moving so that the dialogue finishes almost like immediately before the level transition. And in that way, we're not just like sitting in the elevator waiting for no reason.
So I very seriously doubt they'd even want to see you.
Oh, so I was talking over, but we did miss the surprise, and the surprise was nothing, unfortunately.
She made us some confetti. That was kind of nice.
She did give us some confetti, that is true. But apparently it's not real confetti. Apparently it's fake, and I don't know what that means.
I feel awful about that surprise. Tell you what.
So there is a skip here I'm not going to be going for because it's very RNG and has not been a friend to me lately. But I can explain what I would have done if it had been nice. So right here we're going to be watching a cutscene real quick with Wheatley. And if you line up in a certain way, you can trigger the elevator and like move downward in a way that you'll clip through the floor and just like skip all of this, because once Shell gets to the bottom, she'll trigger that level. And we don't do it in any other chambers because all the other ones trigger the next level on the elevator, like arriving somewhere. This is for some reason the only one where Shell has the trigger, so we're able to just skip that whole cutscene usually.
Just hang in there for 5 more chambers.
So this is the one I was talking about that I like a lot. I believe it's called Laser Training.
And you have been asleep for
It has a pretty cool skip at the end, well, which we'll get to, but first we're just going to be grabbing these boxes and setting them up. This is kind of like casual strats. You do have to like trigger these laser receptors kind of things, so we have to do that this way. But here, so normally you want to have like one more box and kill all the turrets that are up here. But since the door's open, I'm just gonna go right behind them. So we don't need to worry about them at all.
I thought about our dilemma, and I came up with a solution that I honestly think works out best for one of both of us.
Usually you can put a laser to them and kill them so that you can fly up there without getting hurt, but we're able to strafe behind them, which is really nice.
Federal regulations require me to warn you that this next test chamber is looking pretty good. That's right. The facility is completely operational again.
I believe this is the last one, chapter 4.
Better than they did before. It was easy, really. You just have to look at things objectively. See
and
what
we're gonna
you
get,
don't
I think,
need.
Another surprise. Or she
just giving us so many presents. She must love us.
I've got a surprise for you after this.
BFF.
Not a fake, tragic
That's what true
surprise
friends
like
With her forever. That's why she wants us to stay here. I mean,
with
exactly.
tragic consequences. And what's going on? Who turned
Yeah,
off
so
the
now we're
lights?
going to be starting our escape, which is very
Buddy,
exciting.
I'm speaking in an accent that is beyond
We
her
get to see
range of
Wheatley
hearing.
again.
Look, Metal Ball, I can hear
Wheatley's tragic accent.
It's real bad. We're gonna get about a minute here of Wheatley yelling at us to go faster, even though I promise him I'm trying my hardest. But this part's just movement, basically. This section and the next one.
The irony is you are
We're just trying to get to the next. There's not any portal surfaces in this part, and I think also in the one after, so it's kind of hard to skip a ton if you don't have portal surfaces. You can only do so much.
Yeah, if you've never seen Portal before, it's important that you have the white surface to put portals on. You can't just put portals on everything you see. So
Those turrets kind of scared me, but I think they're dead. I didn't quite knock them over, so I don't think they actually died. And so the next map, so I'm going to turn the lights on the game right before the next map, because in the game, what they want you to do is like be guided by Wheatley. He turns his flashlight on, so we can see I made it super bright. He turns his flashlight on and the map is super dark and they want him to like guide us everywhere, but that would be very slow. So the speedrun like allows you to kind of just turn your lights on so that you don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna be trying to skip here. Hopefully it shouldn't take me more than a few tries. It was a little bit of a bully to me earlier though, so we'll see. Alright, nice. So what I did here was just jumping onto this rail, because Wheatley has a cutscene here where all the lights turn off and that's when he figures out how to turn on his flashlight. And when that happens, you're actually like immobilized. So it's definitely worth it to skip that if you can.
It's dark down here, isn't it? They say that the old caretaker of this place went.
And then this part is just going to be moving. Right after this chamber, we're going to be sabotaging GLaDOS in a sense. In the game, you're replacing her turrets and turning off the neurotoxin, which are the two things that she has to kill us right now. We actually won't be touching the turrets though, but I will explain that in the next section.
Quick, this way. Here's an interesting story. You might like this. I almost got a job down here in manufacturing.
There is some parkour platforming, is that gap right there. I've died to that like at least once a day and it's kind of dumb. It's really not hard, but something about the geometry of it messes me up.
Sorry about that. Oh, I'll tell you. Humans? Oh, love them. Just the way they look. Great. And their folklore. Right.
So I just put a portal up here in case I don't make it. Usually you can just land up here while you're going down the pipes, but sometimes you miss, and that's okay. You can, as long as you have the portal and you don't die, you usually can just get back up there pretty fast. So here we're gonna be doing turret sabotage. In the regular game, like I was saying earlier, they want you to take a faulty turret and replace the template that is like running through all the turrets right now. But we're gonna do another precise portal shot instead, which will allow us to just get to like the other side of the door that's locked. And it saves a bunch of time because Wheatley is talking to us a bunch. He has to like hack the door, which I don't know what that entails, but he claims he knows how to do it.
It's kind of impressive he can do so much just as a little circle. I mean,
yeah, he does have a lot of skills and power.
Almost there. Ta-da! Only the turret control center. Thank you very much. See that scanner out there, right? It's deciding which turrets to keep and which to toss, and it's using that.
Something else that I'm able to do is turn my sensitivity really far down on reviews, which is really nice.
Right. I'm gonna have to hack the door.
I just have a keybind to. There we go. So as you can see, I just shot through the door, and then I don't have to wait for it to be opened.
Was there any sort of announcement before it opened, like a buzzer or an alarm?
And then something cool that we're gonna see here, well, we're not gonna really look at it, but there's these like, if you never played the game, there's these bring your daughter to work day posters, and that last one on the very end is actually Shell's, which is pretty cool.
Potato batteries.
If you look at it, it has her name like in the very bottom corner.
But still.
I totally didn't know that when I played through this.
Yeah, if you don't know it, well, it's dark in there anyways usually, but you don't know it unless you like go look, and it's like at the very bottom.
Okay, let's try this one.
Pretty awesome.
And so now her turrets are dead. So even though we didn't replace the template turret, the game of course just like scripts that we did, it thinks that we did. We'll see like over here, I think it's like the good turrets are getting destroyed because they don't fit the template anymore.
This is probably my favorite kind of chamber area, is like the replacement of the good turret by the bad turret.
It's really good.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. It's pretty good too. I think when you do it, you get to see Wheatley like trying to figure out what in the world to even do, because if you take like the turret out, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go off the backup save, and then you're like, oh wait, now I have to go get a bad turret to go instead. So here we're just, this is I believe the only place with moving like panels that you can put portals on. Usually if something is moving and it's a portal surface, the game actually doesn't let you put the portal on it. But this one is the only place where you can.
Neurotoxin pressure has reached dangerously unlethal levels.
And we're going to be going into a lot of cutscenes. If we have any kind of donations or any questions, we have a lot of time.
We do have a couple things. We actually met the $750 goal for the Donkey Kong Country glitch showcase, so that's really awesome. And we do have a few donations, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a $100 donation from Wolverine Pelts that just says, "Great run, Peaches."
They told me it wasn't fun at all, so they said it's not fun at all.
And we have another one from Daniel Ratlaff for $5. Glad to be donating to such a good cause. Also, GL on the run, Peaches. We all have no choice but to stay.
I'm seeing the top layer. It goes down for miles. All sealed off years ago, of course. We should be getting close. Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on her face. No neurotoxin, no turrets. She'll never know what hit her.
So this is a kind of a cool part. We get to see like the behind the scenes more of Aperture as we're going through one of the tubes that is supposed to usually carry like cubes and such. And then we'll get to see a lot more later though, which is also cool. And so here, it does say GLaDOS emergency shutdown and cake dispensary, but unfortunately that was a fake door, so not quite that easy.
There's still no cake? What the heck? Get cake after this stream.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think the only place you actually get to see the cake is like the title screen after the end of Portal 1, after you beat it, but like that's it.
Otherwise, I'm afraid you're about to become the immediate.
So now we're getting to
president
be
of the
face to face with
Beehive
GLaDOS again. She's not like falling apart anymore. She managed to, I guess, repair herself. But all of her attempts to kill us will be unsuccessful because we were successful in sabotaging her, thankfully.
Oh, you were busy back there. Well,
and she's gonna try to put neurotoxin in here, but it's gonna be
somebody drops
something
dead.
else entirely.
But I have a better idea. It's your old friend, deadly neurotoxin. If I were you, I'd take a deep breath and hold it.
You hear a familiar voice. It's our good friend.
I got neurotoxin instead.
I hate
Mistfall of joy.
Warning, the central core is 80% corrupt.
That's funny. I don't feel corrupt.
So basically this is just more cutscenes with like a couple things to do in between. What the game we're doing here is replacing GLaDOS's core with Wheatley because GLaDOS is corrupt. I guess because I don't know if it's like because she's mad at us or if she's just messed up.
No.
Stalemate detected.
You can see they don't agree on what if she should be replaced or not, so we do have to go press the stalemate button, stalemate resolution button.
Not so fast. Think about this.
Stalemate
And
resolved.
now we have to watch GLaDOS die, which is kind of sad.
Wait, what if this hurts? What if this
This is truly the best character.
I like her the best of everyone in this game.
Are you just saying that, or is it really gonna hurt? You're just saying that, aren't you? No, you're not. It is.
Unfortunately, this cutscene, like, they don't even let you look away. If you look away from it, the cutscene just doesn't play. So you're like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's kind of messed up. It's like if you were like, oh, I can't watch, they'd just be like, oh no, we're just gonna wait until you look again.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I want to watch her do that.
So what we're gonna be doing here is jumping on top of the elevator that comes out of this, because otherwise we'd have to sit in the elevator for like 2 minutes or something.
Oh, right, yeah, the escape lift. I'll call it now. There we go. Lift cool.
Yeah, there we go. So we're on top of the elevator now. If we hadn't done this, we would have had to get in the elevator and then ride it up a bit and then ride it all the way, or like have it fall down. So being up here allows us to kind of go down into the hole here without watching that entire cutscene.
This body's amazing, seriously.
And then we'll get to be introduced to a very, well, I guess it's not a new character, but we get to see potatoes, which is
Potatoes.
very good.
Yes, this isn't the end of the run.
Yeah, so basically what just happened there in the part that we skipped, Wheatley's evil now, unfortunately. Wheatley's evil now, and now he wants us to die too, so he shoved GLaDOS into a potato, and he shoved us down this hole that the elevator shaft. And so we're gonna have to make our way through everything that's down here. And also, as GLaDOS is explaining, Wheatley was designed to be stupid so that GLaDOS would have harder time killing people. And we just put him in charge of the whole facility.
They literally manufactured him to be a dummy.
Yep. And something interesting here, which it doesn't make sense, is GLaDOS manages to survive this fall. We have long fall boots on, which is why we survive. She does not, because she is potato, and she manages to not be smashed or anything at the end of this. I don't know how. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, mashed potatoes, but whatever.
There she is. She's gonna get taken away by the bird, so we don't get to see her for a bit, but she's very much alive, don't worry. This is a cool part of the run because we're gonna be looking at old aperture, so this is, I think, from like the 60s or something, in the lore. And we get to see like a bunch of new aesthetics and a few new mechanics as well. I'm gonna do a portal shot here that will skip a good amount of walking. That one's not super precise because I can actually see the portal shot. The other ones were like through walls that I couldn't really see through, but that one, if you just like look hard enough, there's a tiny patch of white and you're like, oh, I can make that. I had to turn my lights on for it too, but we can turn them back off. So we get this huge, nice door, vault opening cutscene before we get to see the rest of Old Aperture.
Old Aperture is just really cool aesthetically. Section a lot.
It has a very nice like rundown feel to it. And
right. We don't hear cave yet, but we sure will.
Right, we will. Don't worry.
So don't worry.
The first split here is called Cave Johnson, but we don't get to hear him because we're gonna skip the part where we get introduced to him. We'll hear him in the section after this. Actually, at the very end. We're gonna do so there's an elevator right there that we're gonna be going through, and usually they want you to go inside and listen to him like introduce the Old Aperture, but we actually can just put a portal shot right at the bottom here, and it'll just get back in here. And then we get this nice awkward elevator ride as well.
Okay, Cave Johnson will be here, chat. Don't worry.
He does have a very good voice line in this section, which it makes me sad that we don't get to hear it. He talks about like this mantis man experiment that has gone horribly wrong, but we don't get to hear about it in the run, which is very sad. So what we're going to be doing here is turning on the blue gel. Something new in Old Aperture is gel. We have 3 kinds. The first one is repulsion gel, or blue gel, or jump gel. I don't. The like level map calls it just jumping. So that's basically what it does. Is it makes you jump really far and really high. Oh, here he is.
They say great science is built on the shoulders of giants. Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand.
So that was like just a little skip. So this next chamber, I'm trying to think. I think is mostly just casual. For the first part of Chapter 6, a lot of the strats are very complicated, so I haven't been able to incorporate those yet, but it's definitely the same thing of like, if you know how to do the puzzle, you can do it pretty fast.
Last poor son of a gun got blue paint. All joking aside, that did happen.
So the way that blue gel works,
but informative.
Oops, I missed that is it will like bounce you with the same amount of speed that you have going on it, which is going to be useful for a trick later on. A very cool trick. The orange gel, which I don't think we actually use, but it gives, well, we use a little bit. It gives you speed really fast. And then the white gel at the very end is able to conduct portal. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah, the blue gel is repulsion gel. The orange is propulsion. The white is conversion gel, so they all have fancy names.
Yeah. So I just messed up on that. There's like that platform there is moving, and I accidentally went through the portal before it was underneath me.
Oh no. Too fast.
Yeah. This skip, well, this isn't a skip, but this section here can take a very long time if you do something which is like, if you go on that gel basically at like a certain angle, you won't get a lot of like horizontal distance, and you'll just go back and forth like the whole time, and it'll take forever to get anywhere. So you gotta make sure like your angle going on that wall is good.
Do not get covered in the repulsion gel.
Yeah, otherwise you just, move like 0.1 inches.
Yeah.
It's a live one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
Okay, so this chamber has some cool skips.
All these science
we're just going to be skipping most of the puzzle itself.
Shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. Good news is the lab boys say the
so we're able to get up here, which normally the game. Oh, I did not get that correct. This button has not been happy with me lately. Usually, I mean, I just did it there. You're supposed to hit it as you're falling. Sometimes I spam the button and it does not work. But what you're supposed to be doing there is like using the repulsion gel to get up to different surfaces and then like jumping from there. But since we were able to get on the elevated surface from the very beginning, we didn't have to go through all of that.
I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually.
Yeah, there are some strats you could use to completely just skip using the orange gel completely, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. The only place that we're going to be using it is it's like going from one, like it's not in an actual chamber, it's like a transitional space.
Most likely you forgot it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during
so here we're going to do a little portal shot and skip
because
this entire chamber pretty much, well, the first half of it. We kind of use the blue gel to jump onto a stereo, and from there we could reach, the end. And so this one I think is a very cool skip. I have zero idea how it works. But we crouch in a certain way and it just breaks the glass. Normally, the game wants you to put blue gel on that box so that it bounces around. This chamber is called Crazy Box, and that's why. But for some reason, it's like a certain way of crouching and uncrouching messes with your hitbox, and from there it will just shatter the glass without going through all that.
Mechanics in this game are really interesting and good for us.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful in that one because trying to catch the box as it's bouncing around the room is very annoying. Alright, so we're almost gonna go see Potatoes again.
Congratulations. The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a
skip here, which also was being kind of mean earlier, so hopefully it'll be taking a few tries. So that portal shot right there I think is kind of funny. So the game has these things called portal helpers, which is like if it wants you to have like an easier time putting the portal in a very specific location, it has basically like a hitbox, an orb, or like a sphere of a hitbox that will just put the portal for you. And because of that, we were actually able to shoot it entirely from the other wall, like side of the wall. Okay, nice. So we just skipped about like another minute of cutscene there.
I love seeing you just fall and fly straight to the cage.
Yeah. And so that was where we would have gotten Potatoes. So we have her now.
The game does not let you proceed without your potato friend, so don't worry.
So right there, I lined up a portal shot at the very end of the chamber, and we are gonna be trying to get this portal on the ceiling while we go through the other side like that. And from here we skipped that entire chamber, which is very nice because that's a real long one. You have to do a lot of stuff with the orange gel and fly all over the place. But since we were able to just shoot that end portal from the beginning, it saved like the entire thing.
That thing's called an elevator, not a bathroom.
Wow, it's very dark in this elevator. Not even realized.
And for some reason, GLaDOS recognizes Cave Johnson's voice.
If you're interested in an additional $60, flag down a test.
Lore.
You could walk out of here with 100.
This is also a new trick that I've learned somewhat recently.
Put some science stuff in you, then put you back together. Good as new.
What we're gonna be doing here is getting a ton of height. Oh my gosh, that wasn't work. But we did it. It's fine. So if you have a ton of speed and you go into the like if you have a ton of speed and you go against a blue gel and you spam jump, it just gives you like an insane amount of speed and height off of that blue gel. So that's what we were doing there, was by going on up and getting some height, we were able to gain the speed, and then we spammed jump as we fell onto the blue gel, and it was able to skip the whole chamber.
Thank you. I can't believe I'm
And here's the,
people.
I believe, the first and only chamber that has, well, not the only chamber. This is like the only chamber that tests white gel. I don't know why it's only like one. We're gonna turn on the gel here. You can actually skip this entire section, but it involves a lot of hard movement. You can see GLaDOS kind of left us because she's or I guess not, she's scared of the bird, but she's still trying to figure out who this Carolyn person is.
Good for him. All right, back to thinking.
Welcome to the Enrichment Center. Since making test participation mandatory.
This one is weird. For some reason, you have to just press that button to open this door. They like don't have anything else like that in like the whole run.
Yeah.
It's just like a random button that you need to press to open the door there.
You may have heard we're going to phase out human testing. There's still a few things left to wrap up, though.
I'm saying
what was that?
I'm saying Kate Johnson is getting sicker and sicker because moon dust are poisonous to you, and he ground up like $1 million worth of. So
yeah, so we get a bit of
thing
here. Cave is dying and also going bankrupt, but we have white gel, so it was maybe worth it? I don't know. Maybe that's controversial. It allows us to beat this part of the lemon.
allows us to make portals on any surface that already can't be portalized.
Yes.
And it's made out of moon dust.
Yep, so the white gel is super cool. Since it basically allows you to put your portals wherever you want. This strat is basically casual, but it is a very cool like mechanic that they added. And now we get the best dialogue probably in the whole game.
Alright, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons,
This is the best one.
make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager! Make life rue the day and thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons! Do you know?
The rest of this is just like... Normally they want you to go...
GDQ, everyone.
And GLaDOS is very enthusiastic. She likes Cave a lot. So this is gonna have one of the coolest skips. I really, really like this skip, and hopefully we have no issues with it. This skip is called Stuck Launch. And so the first thing I'm going to be doing here is setting up this gel in a very specific way. So let me just get in position for that.
Wow. I'm not going to lie to you. The odds are 1,000,000 to 1, and that's with some generous rounds.
Other crafting strats we use.
What was that? Oh, yeah. So we're putting this gel here on the floor, and we're going to get stuck, as implied in Stuck Launch. And we're gonna gain a ton of speed by getting ourselves stuck right here. And flying all the way up here and skipping the rest of the chamber. It's definitely like one of the coolest strats. Yeah.
Yeah. And just you get speed and speed and speed and speed and then whee!
Yeah.
I love that strat.
It's very like, I was having trouble for like the last few days of getting my gel correct, but I finally figured out my setup was wrong, which is always fun to figure out. But once you get the gel like in the right spot and you know how to get the speed, it's actually pretty easy to just skip that whole thing. And so here we're gonna do another skip called tube bounce. And so this tube next to us, I think it is rendered, like they put blue gel in it, I think. I'm actually not sure. Either they put blue gel in it or they just made the tube bouncy. The thing that matters is that the tube is bouncy, so we can just bounce up it because we're bouncing between this one and the one right behind us. So it allows us to skip a lot, like the entire cutscene there. There's a long wait for an elevator, but we're just gonna bounce on a tube instead.
Way faster.
Yeah. And now we're back in regular aperture again. And we get to see our good friend.
Trading Cave for Wheatley. Tragic.
Yeah, sadly, yeah, we had to say goodbye to Cave. He's not gonna be with us anymore.
So sad.
And Wheatley's has a new invention that's interesting to see. He has invented turret boxes because he didn't have anyone to test with, so he just made these little turret boxes. They're boxes with legs. They're very cute.
Oh,
that's funny, is it? Oh, it's funny because
they're bad at solving tests, though, unfortunately for him.
You've got 1 hour.
no one's as good at subject as Shell is.
Exactly. Usually you can skip this. Well, not usually. If you throw this box fast enough, you can like throw it onto the button and walk over here before this platform comes up. I'm very bad at throwing things, so I have not tried to work on that yet. But we get to stack boxes. I've come to enjoy this as my new pastime during this cutscene.
How high can the boxes go?
I've gotten 5, but I don't know.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I think 5 is like the highest. Oh, I
Nice.
just knocked it over.
Hey, it is great seeing you guys again. Seriously.
I really enjoy that.
And one of the funny things in this chamber is you'll notice all those turret boxes were like glitched out because GLaDOS told the Paradox this sentence is false as her Paradox, and Wheatley was not phased at all by the Paradox, which was supposed to be her plan to destroy him, and he did not care, but the turret boxes did.
The turret boxes are smarter than Wheatley, confirmed.
Unfortunately.
So you're gonna test, and I'm gonna watch.
This is Wheatley's very own test. It's very hard. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to solve it actually.
Nuclear meltdown. Design this
You can
test.
see it's labeled test. That's how you know. That's how you know.
Yes.
And we just pressed the button and the box landed on the button.
Since making tests is so difficult,
It was very
just
difficult.
keep solving this test.
But it's so fun we're gonna do
What an
it.
incredible chamber. You were so big brain to be able to solve it.
And
Oh, it's there before I even get over there. Like,
okay, new tests. New tests.
all right. So the next chamber is gonna be introducing a new glitch called, I think it's called crouch fly or funnel fly, one of the two. I'm actually not sure. But what we're gonna be doing is crouching and uncrouching while we're in a funnel, and by doing this, we are going to trick the game into giving us zero gravity as like a property. And so we're gonna be able to literally fly through the stage and skip a ton of stuff that we should have,
It's all right.
that we should not be able to
Everything's good.
skip.
I just invented some more tests.
This is one of my tests.
Not entirely. Not entirely. Look at the word test there on the wall.
So you can see now I'm in the air. And the nice thing is that this is actually going to be preserved through chambers until we lose it again later. So we won't lose it for, I think, like 4 chambers.
So the bad news is the tests are my tests
But,
now, so they can kill us.
That is like the coolest strat in the whole game.
It's
I
very
think.
cool. The only downside is you can't jump, so you can't bunny hop. So we get to
Yeah.
AD spam instead. So that's fun. But if you jump, you will just fly to the ceiling. So we don't want to just like try to bunny hop around.
Jammed them all together. Buttons, got funnels.
Great chance of getting soft locked if you're crouch flying in the wrong place. So
Yes.
it requires different routing of these last chambers.
Exactly. So something we're gonna do here, I'm gonna put this box on my head to push me down because I can't actually give myself any downward momentum while I have crouch fly. You can only give yourself like forward momentum, or if you're on the ground you can jump up, but there's like not really a good way to go down, so I just put the box on my head and then he pushes me down.
I got some good news. He's going to run out of test chambers eventually. I never stockpiled them.
I'm coming! Don't start yet! You are not gonna believe
This one is one of my favorite ones that uses crouch fly because normally you need to go in a funnel to get on the other side of this chamber. But since we're not gonna like fall and die, we'll just walk over here.
And there we go.
So the crouch fly will actually get lost once we touch a portal. Or not a portal, that would be kind of hard. A funnel. So in the next chamber, I believe we're gonna go into a funnel on purpose, and we're gonna be losing crouch fly at the very end of it.
Oh, disappointed.
Oh no, it's happening sooner than I expected.
Lose the crouch fly. How do you choose to get rid of it?
If you have it, the only way you can get rid of it, it depends. So if you got it in the same chamber, you can usually get rid of it by crouching. Will like remove it, but oh god, I'm going very fast. If you have it in like a carried over chamber, so like you can see here, I just went in that funnel and now I don't have it anymore, so now I can jump. But if there's no funnels in like a chamber that you got into it with, you can't really get rid of it. So one of the things that just happened in the last chamber that is very important when you're crouch flying is if your speed goes over 300, you actually lose control of your character.
Sorry.
So if you have 300 speed and you're going somewhere that is not a wall, you like will not stop.
That's what I was doing. Just reading.
Luckily I was going towards a wall, but that could have been very bad if I wasn't.
Anyway, just finish the last one. Just know the hardest one, Machiavelli. Do not know what all the fuss was about. Understood it perfectly. Have you read that? What was that? That was
It also applies, I think, when you're helping as well, but it's a lot easier to stop yourself because you'll just land on the ground.
Eventually you build up a resistance to it. It can get a little unbearable unless you have the mental capacity to push past it. It didn't matter to me. I was in it for the science. Him, though.
So that last one was basically just casual. This next one's going to be casual as well. Since we don't have crouch fly, there's not as much skips to do in these chambers.
Don't mind me, just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me.
Oops, I did not press that button.
Maybe proximity to the
Yeah, in these ending chambers, there's not as many portable surfaces we can kind of use for all of our skips. Still, solving these casually but quickly is still pretty fast.
Right.
Missed me that time. Oh, you were sorry. Sorry, never mind. Carry on, my fault.
So one of the things, I think we should be fine, but one of the things about these boxes, which I've experienced too many times, is that since they have legs, they can walk off the button that you're putting them onto.
Maybe there's a number of ways to solve them.
It's happened to me in a very specific chamber, and it's very frustrating because you have to like go back and put them back on the button because they will just walk off. Like they have legs, why not?
Fox, please just stay there for 5 seconds and then you can hang out with me.
I had one that was literally walked off the map and it fell off and died, and I was like, wow.
Oh no!
On a related note, I am going to need you to
No, that could happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, just give me a wave, would you, before you solve this one, alright? I don't want to spoil
As soon as I have crouch fly again, I just got it right there with that setup. And we're gonna get a little bit of downward momentum by hitting that pipe, maybe. Try that again. It's very slow, but I'm going down, so that's all that matters. So that's one way you can get downward momentum when you have crouch fly is by like hitting a slope. It will push you in that direction.
Remember when I told you that he was specifically designed to make bad decisions? Because I think he's decided not to maintain any
And then we'll have crouch fly for,
required to keep this
I
facility
think, the
from
next
exploding.
1 or 2 chambers. Oh, maybe just this one. So this one, you get to skip a lot, because normally they want you to be going on that platform. There's a platform here, but we're just gonna like come out here and grab the box anyways.
Oh, crouch fly getting us through.
Ignore what I say, just keep on testing.
And then this part I think is like my favorite just because it's so silly. Like you can just rest that box on the portal and trigger the end like laser receptacle because you can just angle it upward.
Exactly.
Ideally, you'd keep that crouch fly and you'd actually go along the side of this funnel because we're going very slow right now. We're only going a speed of 122, and a good speed would be like 280 or something with crouch fly, but it's very easy to die. There's a lot of random death barriers, and it's something that is super risky.
Oh, you're alive! Great! Yeah, just getting a test ready for you, obviously. That's what I've been doing it for. No. So, let's see here. Exit, exit, exit. There is no exit. Not a problem. I'll just...
So this box is the one that always walks off my button, so I need him to not walk off, please.
Friend, stay here.
Usually as long as you like set him up in such a way that he doesn't have his legs out, he'll be fine.
I'll be honest, after you told me to turn that beam off,
Yeah.
I lost it. Went poking around for other test subjects. No luck there. Everyone's still...
So right here,
I did find something though.
the dialogue trigger is actually caused by having like a funnel on the back wall that we just passed. I didn't look at it, but there's a wall there. But the problem is that there gets an emancipation grill there as we fly over, and so unless you're very fast, I can't like put that portal there in time, so I just get to sit here in the elevator because we don't have any dialogues going on right now, so they don't know when to end the level.
Awkward elevator.
Oh my gosh.
This has the best burns.
And Wheelie also has a surprise for us. Wow. We're getting a lot
Oh my gosh,
today.
everyone is so kind.
Oh gosh. So yeah, so now we're going to Wheatley's surprise. Maybe it'll be better than GLaDOS's? Well, actually that's I think he says we have 2 more chambers until his surprise. So maybe we'll see.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting in anticipation.
Dying to know what your big surprise is. Well, only 2 more chambers.
Running out of time.
And there actually is a strat. Oh yeah, so the surprise is now instead of 2 more chambers. There is a strat to do crouch fly in this section instead. It's a lot harder. I'm planning on learning it soon, but it's not too bad to do the rest of this. We're getting close to the end, so it's not too bad to just have regular strats for it. So unfortunately here we're gonna be going to the part where he kills us.
Hello. This is the part where I
As we
kill
can
you.
see.
Had a bit of a brainwave. There I was, smashing.
Chapter 9, the part where he kills you.
No. Don't do that.
But unfortunately for him, I'm not planning on dying right now, so
Come back, please.
he might have to make some adjustments to
I'm
that.
not gonna kill you, okay? If you come back. Oh, just thinking back to the old times, the old days when we were friends, good old friends.
Just from chat that says, what would you want to see in a Portal 3?
Oh, honestly, I have like a hard time answering that question. I really like how Portal 2 ends. I just wish I could play more of it. So it's like, I just want Portal 2 extended. But I liked how Portal 2 ends, so I don't know.
Portal 2 just level DLC, doesn't change
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Or people have talked about like the idea of having one with like, so there's like a character, Doug Bradman. he was like a scientist and he was trapped in Portal 1, he was trapped in the facility. So the idea of like playing in that section of time would be pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I agree that it would be really hard to follow up with a Portal 3 because I think perfect, like literal perfect games made.
Yeah. It's like ends really nice, and GLaDOS. Well, yeah, GLaDOS is like.
Because I'm still holding all the cards.
Exactly.
She lets us go, so why would she want us to come back?
I see. Clever. Very clever. And foolish.
I'm gonna do a quick like skip here. Normally you're supposed to go in that funnel. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, we're just gonna walk down here instead. Saves a few seconds. But sometimes it can be hard to like get the landing on the right wing. And now we're gonna do turret. I don't even know what to call it. Turret bullying, because we're just gonna kill all of these turrets with blue gel. It's very fun.
Hello? Oh, yes, alright, no, just had a brainwave. I'll be back. If you're still alive, I'm gonna be back. Don't die until I get back.
Alright, sweet. If you have crouch fly in this chamber, you can actually just go past all of them without giving them a chance to shoot you. It's very cool. But unfortunately, when you don't have crouch fly, they will shoot you if you get out there for more than like a few seconds.
Right.
Rationing's too good for him. First, he'll spend a year in the incinerator. Year 2, cryogenic refrigeration.
We're almost at the end of this. Is I believe the second to last split or section. We're going to meet up with Wheatley very soon. And I do like they brought like the gel into this section of the game, which is very cool. Once you turn it on, like in the old aperture section, we get to see it in like the new aperture, which is pretty cool.
It's really neat to go through.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like very low. Oh, there's a bomb on my head. Okay, I've never had that happen before. I can't pick it up, so we're just gonna hope that nothing bad comes out of that. That's funny. So, yeah, we're almost at the Wheatley fight. GLaDOS is having a nice little heart-to-heart with us. She has a conscience now. She had a
and saw we could be friends.
Yeah. And so here we're gonna see in a few seconds, or earlier we talked about the space core a little bit. There's 4 cores here that we're gonna be putting onto Wheatley, which is kind of the opposite of Portal 1. In that run, you are taking cores off of GLaDOS to kind of like destroy her. We're gonna be putting corrupted cores onto Wheatley. And he is gonna monologue at us for a second. But there's like the space core, the fact core, the adventure core, and I think that's it.
Oh, good.
All of them are kind of annoying, but that's okay. We're not going to talk to them for too long.
Alright, everyone in chat, which was your favorite core? Drop it in the chat.
Yeah, whichever one wins.
I like the fact core.
The fact core I think is the least annoying. He has some funny facts. Like, they're not facts, they're just lies, but...
They're so funny. Okay, it looks like space is like almost unanimous here.
Wow.
Wow. A few people saying fact, but a lot of space.
Ah, I see. Oh. The space core is... he's nice, you know. He seems very enthusiastic, and he does get probably the happiest ending.
True.
He gets to go to space, so...
We should just rename this Space Core Good Ending.
Space Corps true pacifist ending. Oh, here he is. I think. Yeah, this is this person. He doesn't talk for a while though. Yeah. He doesn't talk as much as the other two.
Warning. Core corruption.
I was looking, I think, one day at like the voice lines on the Portal wiki, and I think like the Space Corps has more voice lines than like all of the cores in Portal 1 combined, and all he talks about is space.
What have you palmed to me? What's that? Hold on. Ah, the bloody bombs.
There's an hour meeting the Adventure Corps, also known as Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Rick, what's the situation?
I don't care for Rick, but that's okay.
Name's Rick. So you might have yourself a little...
Warning.
I like how they all have different eye colors.
75.
Yeah.
Reactor explosion timer destroyed.
Makes them
Reactor explosion
different.
Emergency Emergency preemption protocol initiated.
Alright, some people in chat saying they like Rick. Okay, I'm here for you. I respect.
To each their own. We're gonna skip using the orange gel once again, because I guess we just don't like that gel. But instead of getting momentum from the orange gel, we just put a portal up on that really high one instead, which is very helpful. Because otherwise you have to wait for this tube to break, which I think is a look trigger. I don't even know, it's not going anywhere, so it's...
Oh yeah, and the place is casually catching on fire. But like,
oh yeah, it is on, so here's on fire.
Corrupted core. Are you ready to start?
What do you think?
We can just see everything's kind of chaotic. I have dropped a cord back here once, that was really bad. And we also have this.
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either.
Extinguish.
So here I'm gonna be spamming a portal shot on this specific section of the ground, and it allows us to keep the portal there, even though we're not supposed to have it there.
Please press the stalemate resolution button.
And then we're able to just get in there really fast, and I'm gonna call time in a few seconds when I shoot the portal shot on the moon. Spoilers.
Yeah, because the white gel is made out of moon dust.
Moon dust.
The foreshadows.
And time.
Good.
So that was it. That was the run.
Yay, GG!
GG. Thanks everyone for watching us. It felt like a pretty good one.
Space! Ah! Ah!
Yeah, that's time. Also, tech.
Yeah.
Let go! We're in space!
And Space Corps got out here too, as we can see.
Let go! I'm still connected!
Yay, Space
I
Corps.
can pull myself in! I can still fix this!
I already fixed it, and you are not coming back.
Hold on! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Ah! Run,
Yeah, so I think we have I guess the Portal 2D run is coming up next, I think. So stick around for that if you enjoy Portal.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this run. I hope you enjoyed. Give Peach a follow because she's an amazing speedrunner. And stay tuned for the Portal 2D, the 2D incentive.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Oh, thank God, you're all right.
And that was Portal 2. Thank you so much, Peaches. That was amazing. We have a couple of donations that came in for that. We've got $5 from FactSphere. The FactSphere is not defective. Its facts are wholly accurate and very interesting. We have a $50 donation from Sven. Thank you to all the runners, staffs, donors, etc. for another great event for another great cause. Had to donate during my favorite game, Portal 2. Good luck to all the runners. It's okay, sorry. Welcome back to Frost Fatales. We have a couple donations to read. We've got $5 from the Fact Sphere. The Fact Sphere is not defective. Its facts are wholly accurate and very interesting. We have a $50 donation from Sven. Thank you to all the runners, staff, donors, etc. for another great event for another great cause. Had to donate during my favorite game, Portal 2. Good luck to all the runners. And as a reminder, the Yeti is donating $5 per Frost Fatale shirt sold to Malala Fund. You can find the shirts at theyeti.com. Also, as far as bids go, the next one up will be for Gregory Horror Show. We have got bids for the character gender and character name. We have a $25 donation from Hazard613. Had to donate on one of my favorite games. Thank you for all you do, putting forward time and effort to raise money for Malala Fund. $25 donation going towards Dealer's Choice. We have a $15 donation from Raining Mochi. Worldwide women's education is a close cause to my heart. Thank you for donating your time and awesome runs to make this event possible. We have a $3 donation from Rexified1129. Rex here. As a binary femme person, this event is a breath of fresh air to see. Let's help women and women adjacent people all over the world. And as we have a $25 donation from Cold Candor
This is gonna be
176. Love seeing how many communities are coming out of the speedrunning world, and especially glad to see how many they all care about supporting diverse causes. Keep up the great work. And as a reminder, Frost Fatales and other hotfix events and shows are brought to you by viewers like you. Your subscriptions and bits help keep the channel running for these fun events, including shows like Frost Fatales, Random Number Generator, Retro Reboot, Time Capsule, Learning with Liz, and more. And it looks like we're all ready for the additional run that you guys donated for. So let's hear it for Portal 2D.
Hey, we're live?
Yep, it looks like it.
So hi, I'm Codulax. I did the Portal Inbounds run, and now, I guess I'm running this wonderful game. This is a Portal 2D Flash fan game thing. I'm just gonna... I guess people commentating should introduce themselves, just so we know who's talking.
Yep, hi, I'm TealQT. I use she, they pronouns.
V?
Oh no, V has gone AFK.
I'm dumb. I hit the wrong button. Hi. Hi, I'm V, and I also commentated on Coach's Portal 1 run, and I do a lot of Portal running, so...
So I'm just going to say before this starts that there's a very good possibility that this game will just decide that it wants to run at half speed today, and there's not really a whole lot I can do about that. So we're going to hope that that doesn't happen. All right? So I'm just going to start. Okay.
I have my fingers crossed. Let's do this.
Time starts on fade in. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
So yeah, this is Portal 2D. We got the biggest glitch in this is box jumping. You can do jumps off of boxes.
Yep.
We're gonna do that a lot.
Pretty similar to the item hopping glitch, which isn't used very often in Portal, but is still pretty neat.
I see you're running backwards a lot already. Like, is that faster?
No, it's just I face whichever direction my mouse is pointed at. And I just...
okay.
So, yeah, we can just skip most of the levels. This is much more powerful than any item hopping in Portal because, well, I guess it's about similar, but we can essentially fly with it in this version. So we have the dual portal gun now. So
that was fast.
Yeah.
That's much faster than the original.
Gotta count 4 falls through those portals there. Yeah.
By the way, for chat, I'm going to be watching for questions. So if you have any questions about this run, feel free to put them in there. Yeah, get them in quickly. This run is not long.
So we can do a little sequence break here by shooting a portal from there to there and skipping, having to launch up here. We can just shoot there. So that's a little skip. Oh no. Doing that bit's hard, is fast as hard. So we get light bridges now. These are very broken. These are they don't work well in this game. So if we set up this portal in just the right spot, I'm gonna go for it like 3 times. If I put it like there, yeah, there we go. The cube just comes with us, I guess. I don't know, just teleports. How does it work? I don't know. I'm the only runner of this game, so I don't know.
Yeah, someone asked what current world record is. And the easy answer is
49 by me. Although this game doesn't have a leaderboard, the Portal speedrun series mods denied my requests to have a leaderboard. Please reconsider. Please give me a leaderboard.
If Portal Flash can get one, I feel like Portal 2D deserves one.
That was a glitch where we tricked the game into thinking the light bridge was still there, and it let us, hover, basically, to the end. Yeah, okay, so we're getting some lag. That's not great.
Is it doing the half speed thing?
Yeah, it just sometimes decides that it just does not want to run at 30 FPS, and there's just not really much you can do about that. So we can shoot a portal shot like here if we aim perfectly and time it perfectly, or sometimes we can just not. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and it just won't work no matter how many times you try it, and I don't understand. And then other times it'll be 100% consistent. I think it's something to do with RNG or how the map loads in. I don't know. So we can just put the there, do a little. This one's really hard because you just barely have enough space to clear that. So bounce gel. This is in Portal 2. Remember the game we just played? Yeah, we got this now. We can. That one's also really tight. So, yeah, this is mostly just waiting.
Chat asks if cake is a lie?
There is no cake in this game. You know what is?
So it is a lie.
We're actually... it is a lie. Well, it was never offered, so it's not really a lie.
Okay, yeah.
Proposed. But, essentially the story of this game is that, we dropped our cake... not our cake, we dropped a sandwich into a crack in the ground, and we went after it, and now we're here. So we're going to get our sandwich. And it is in the cake. That portal setup was really weird, and I didn't have anywhere to put it, but it's fine. So this is a new mechanic to Portal 2D. It's called the green gel, and it can basically dissolve walls. And it also is very broken.
That as a concept sounds very broken.
Yeah. It's really cool. It wouldn't really work in like a 3D setting like Okay, yeah. So if I can grab the cube there without having to place any more portals, I can just immediately, I can save a cycle of flings, because I can just immediately... Okay, so, you know how in Portal 1, it can just decide, portals can just decide to kill all your momentum? They brought that feature here. It's a cool throwback to how portal momentum doesn't work.
Tech.
An homage, yeah.
Yeah, it's an homage to the fact that portal physics didn't work in Portal 1.
Oops.
So, this is the last chamber in the game.
Oh my god, that was so fast.
So we just kind of, I can do a little skip here. It's just a little skip. If I jump over here, I can put the portal here, and then just drop this in just the right way, and it'll not do that. That's what happens if I do it wrong. I just drop it at just the right height, and it'll bounce off, put on the button, and I can skip the whole puzzle. So yeah, we got the sandwich. So time. So we got our sandwich, but
congratulations.
Unfortunately, it's moldy. It's moldy.
Oh no! Oh,
so
gross!
tragic.
Oh,
Egg. Isn't mute.
Bye.
Everyone.
Portal series mods, please give me a leaderboard. Bye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Enjoy the rest of the runs.
Yeah.
Neat.
way!
Yeah. That went better than I could have expected. What was my time on that?
5:36, I think.
That would have been under the original estimate that I submitted for before I realized this game can just decide that it doesn't want to work. So
That was so cool. It's a shame that sandwich was moldy. We've got a couple donations. We've got a $25 donation from Mike Potions that just says, "Keep it up." Thank you so much, Mike. I just want to remind you guys about a couple of the bids that we have open now. We have a super cool one, a script reading for Dungeon Dice Monsters. We are going to have some third-rate duelists read couch commentators, read some scripts from episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Humorous voices may be included. I hear there's going to be video and acting. Guys, this is going to be amazing. It's currently at $130 out of $500, so let's get some bids in for that. Some other bids that we have up and coming are for Gregory Horror Show for the character gender and character name. So let's get in some bids for that as well. You get to pick cool things, be really awesome. And just so you guys know, SGDQ 2020 submission is open from March 4th to 14th for both runners and volunteers. You'll be able to submit at gamesdonequick.com. We also have some other super awesome nickname bids open for Tulip and Earthbound. We have a $10 donation from Catnip134. Go team go! Hit us up with that sweet Delfino Plaza music next. Portal 2D was so much fun. And now we're going to go ahead and go to an ad for the Malala Fund.
हमारे गांव में इंटर कॉलेज नहीं है, इसकी वजह से लड़के स्कूल नहीं जा पाती हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे गांव में इंटर कॉलेज हो ताकि सभी लड़कियां पढ़ सकती हैं।
This is a video series in which girls from countries around the world are sharing their stories and telling what matters to them.
Hi everyone.
أنا اسمي هدير. Hi friend, मेरा नाम आकांक्षा है.
This is Roll Call.
चला चला
हाय फ्रेंड, मेरा नाम आकांक्षा है। मैं उत्तर प्रदेश भारत में रहती हूँ। मैं इस साल हाई स्कूल में पढ़ूंगी। मेरे पापा किसानी करते हैं, मेरी मम्मी भी उनके साथ में किसानी करती हैं। आइए मैं अपना घर दिखाती हूँ। ये हमारी बकरियां, ये हमारी माता जी है। यहाँ पर हम खाना बनाते हैं, यहाँ पर स्नान करते हैं और यहाँ पर हम लेटते हैं, यहाँ पर हम पढ़ते हैं। मेरे मम्मी पापा हैं, मजदूरी करते हैं, ये मुझे स्कूल भेजते हैं।
हमारी 2 बच्चियां बाहर पढ़ती हैं, आकांक्षा और ज्योति, और तीसरी बेटी जो छोटी है वो प्राइमरी स्कूल में पढ़ती है।
हमारा स्कूल यहाँ से 10 या 12 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर है। इस वजह से हमें अकेले स्कूल जाना पड़ता है। मेरे जैसे कई लड़कियाँ हैं जो स्कूल नहीं जा पाती हैं। अगर हमारे गांव में स्कूल होता तो सारी लड़कियाँ स्कूल जा सकती हैं। रहीम का पूरा नाम अब्दुल रहीम खान खाना था। इनका जन्म सन 1856। मुझे खाने में सेब, अनार और बंदे की सब्जी पसंद है। मैं स्कूल जाती हूँ तो अपने सहेलियों के साथ में खेलती हूँ। मुझे खेलना बहुत पसंद है, जिसमें कि खो खो, कबड्डी मुझे कुछ ज़्यादा ही पसंद है खेलने में। जिस दिन हमारे मम्मी पापा के पास पैसे नहीं होते उस दिन हम स्कूल नहीं जाते हैं। घर का सारा काम करते हैं, बर्तन धुलते हैं, पानी भरते हैं, खाना बनाते हैं। हाय फ्रेंड, मैं अपनी बड़ी बहन ज्योति से आपको मिलवाती हूँ। तुम कितने में पढ़ती हो?
12 में।
तुम्हें क्या पसंद है?
पढ़ना, लिखना और खेल कूद करना, घूमना, सेल्फी लेना, खाना बनाना, खाना खाना।
तुम्हारा नाम क्या है?
अशिक्षिता।
कितने में पढ़ती हो तुम?
4।
तुमने क्या पढ़ा है आज?
हिंदी।
हिंदी पढ़ा? उसमें क्या पढ़ा है तुमने?
एक कविता।
मैं गर्ल्स एडवोकेट हूँ, इसलिए मैं घर घर जाकर उनके माता पिता और उनकी लड़कियों से अपील करती हूँ कि स्कूल रोज जाना चाहिए। शिक्षा बहुत जरूरी है।
हम अपने बच्चों को पढ़ाने में इच्छुक हैं और उनको चाहते हैं कि शिक्षा में आगे रहें, हर काम करें और अपनी समस्याएं हल करने की कोशिश करें।
अगर मुझ में शिक्षा होगी तो मैं दूसरे लोगों को भी प्रेरित कर पाऊंगी। इसलिए हमें एक उदाहरण देना है कि लड़कियों को भी पढ़ाएं।
I hope that these stories would have inspired you and that you would share it with your friends as well. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. Just a reminder, Frost Fatales and other Hotfix events and shows are brought to you by viewers like you. Your subscriptions and bits help keep the channel running for these fun events, including shows like Frost Fatales, Random Number Generation, Retro Reboot, Time Capsule, Learning with Liz, and more. So thank you guys, it's really awesome. We have an $80 donation from Dr. Goldfire15. They don't leave a comment, but it's so very much appreciated. And with that, we're going to go over to Claire with Super Mario Sunshine.